From the dawn of time, man has been on a quest for entertainment, a quest to find the greatest in streaming. These are their adventures. Hello and welcome to Binge Buddies. I'm Brian Hill, the jack of all trades, the master of none. And tonight with me, I got my good old buddy, Mad Max the Mandalorian. What's going on, dude?
Hey, Binge Buddy. Thanks for having me on. That's great. You worked on an intro. You made it special. I appreciate that. Thank you for all you viewers watching. If you are watching, comment, let us know. Hopefully,
Right.
if you also watch the replay, because this is going to be a really interesting episode, even though it's just us two.
Well, I mean, it's such a timely subject. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, and when I was watching it, I was like, oh man, it's when you see things that kind of confirm things that you've been speculating, and you're just like, oh,
Yes, there's definitely. I think it's dangerous to go after one side in politics or in social media, one point of view, 100% hardcore team sports without evaluating what's really going on.
yeah,
Even I have to reevaluate some of my thoughts too on people in the game. They know what they're doing. I actually kind of think some of them are a slave to this dilemma as well, and actually believe it.
yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, that's true because there are times where I believed it. So it's like, I mean, I could totally understand it. And like when they started talking about how they'll purposefully kind of send you down rabbit holes here and there, it really kind of rings true. And you're just like, wow, wait a minute.
Well, you have to really examine too. Like we all know, we're in election time. We're going to point. I think we'll commentary a little bit on elections and social media and ad dollars being spent and where's the money coming from, and like the old Russian bots. But the reality is, are there bots or are there just a system that's put in place by Facebook?
Yeah.
And foreign governments find that this is the best way to disrupt democracies in other countries that promote democracy, and really sow division. And if you look at the results of the election, no matter what side you're on, you could see now, is there tampering or are they just using the system that's in place? It's not like, I mean, I for me, something I've really got from this documentary is very possible the easiest, most effective way to disrupt other countries and do what you want is to sow division, do ads and even memes across on both sides.
Yeah.
It has them focusing on each other instead of you too. The United States right now is not united. It's just states.
Yeah.
and they actually said civil war in this documentary. Is like, well, could this lead to civil war? The prevalence of social media, how the influence. And I always used to think when I started YouTube, I'm like, people don't get influenced by stuff and ads. Yes, it is scary how much people get influenced by stuff. It is scary.
Yeah, I think of that every time I get a jingle stuck in my head. I mean, it's just something as innocuous as a song for a crispy chicken taco at Del Taco. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, why are you the only ad I see?
Well, also the screaming SJW, and some on the right said the left can't meme and stuff, but there's also, think about the Karens or the guy with the barbecue beer and whatever shirt that's saying this is fraud recently. People are so influenced, so on razor thin triggers, hairline triggers with this stuff. Even if there's parts of it that are true, it's spun. It's really
it really digs to the heart of the human condition almost, where it's like you really kind of have to wonder, how much control do they have?
Well, what's scary is and you might say, "Oh, what are these people talking about? Oh, social media is dangerous." Yes, it is. Like Generation Z, my nieces, they're on their phones constantly.
Well, it's like, okay, if we take a trip back in the Wayback Machine, okay, when I was in high school, there was very few people that actually had cell phones.
Yeah.
It was pagers, and that was it. Okay, so the concept of social media, I was an adult by the time that came out, so I can only imagine what it'd be like for kids these days, where that's all
I mean,
they
I
have.
had my phone next to me during this documentary, and I was checking it until we got to the point where I was like, "What the hell am I doing? Stop it!"
Yeah, right.
I don't have Twitter on my phone for a reason, and I've almost come close a few times because I lose touch when I'm out of town or something. But I'm like, no, do not put it on your phone. Do not put Twitter on your phone. It's not worth it. How much time is wasted for stuff that's really just data in micro advertising dollars?
Yeah.
How much time do you waste just looking at notifications, likes, and it really means nothing?
Well, I mean, like for my Facebook, for example, I've made a concerted effort over the last year or so to not be as active, because I was one of those over posters where it was like, oh, I had breakfast this morning, you know what I mean? So it's like, and then you get that gratification where somebody's like, hey, I like that you had breakfast this morning, you know what I mean? So it's
people's intention spans are like nothing too. Like they can't even, you can't even watch anything with people anymore. Like it's funny because like reading books is important, but I'm also talking about like finishing things. Like you start shows, start movies, start games. No one even finishes anything anymore. It's just like, oh, I'm bored already. Where's my notification? Where's my phone? What's happening here? What's happening? It's really disruptive. And I intend to, I mean, this is fresh in our minds right now because we just watched it, but I intend to unplug a little bit as much as I can.
Yeah.
Occasionally. Like I've been doing more gaming, and I love the reason we're on YouTube here is mainly we're just friends. We just want to talk to each other.
No, and that's 100%.
But I kind of like, I've been doing more stuff since I've been doing less YouTube. And
well, you find all those games that you pay money for, okay?
Yeah, and they're just
all the streaming services that you pay money for, all those shows that you don't really watch because you're doing this, or you're checking your phone, or you're doing this, or you're doing that while you're doing it, so you're really not taking the show in. And that's something I noticed. Is like I was sitting there watching like episodes of Star Trek, Discovery, just trying to get caught up, and I'd be on the phone, just
even if any of you out there, I know I've said this before, I haven't commented on it recently, but mental health,
big time.
If you find yourself not being able to sleep and just looking at your phone, or like just not doing anything and just looking at your phone, it's scary. How many times has that happened to you? Just do something else. It also probably causes insomnia.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, you get anxiety when you can't find it.
Another,
you know what I mean? So it's like,
my nieces, if they've lost their phones before, they are an absolute wreck.
Yeah,
absolute wreck. Another like really cool point was another one. I don't know who the quote was from in the documentary, but the only that define their customers as users are drugs and computer companies or not, those users,
social networking users.
Yeah.
Well, because like they say, it's so addicting. I mean, you get that endorphin
right
rush.
there. It's designed to do it.
Yeah,
it's designed to do it. If you need any proof of how bad it's gotten, also statistics about depression and unfortunately, suicides going up were around 2000, 2011, 2011, 2012, 2013 is they saw like a huge jump. And that's really where these things came in, they became more prevalent on people's phones and mobile devices, and it's even worse when you have the world. Like when you get dejected in society or at school or something, it's sad, okay? But when you got the whole world as your oyster and you post something and no one likes it, or it's like crushing. And as a YouTuber, I can understand that. I have somewhat success, but when you post something and no one pays, it's like, it's crushing.
Yeah, you put a lot of effort into it, you know what I mean, to make that video and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, why do I only have 10 views?
Yeah,
what's going on?
It's
especially for a small YouTuber like me. It's like, you know, you really hang on every click. You know, it's like
right. And then I don't know how much you know what, it's sad because I myself have wasted a lot of my life. Well, it's not wasted because I met friends. I met people. If the result of what you've done here is meeting people and having friends, that's a good thing. But besides the friend part, content-wise, I've wasted a lot of my life on YouTube and social media. And I want to work. I want to be more effective with my work, divide my time better, and, you know, do more important things with it. And not, that's also why I turned off the sub count on my YouTube channel. Is like, I don't even want to look at it anymore. I don't care. Just don't even think about it.
You don't need that affirmation anymore.
You know what I mean? So I just like, and I tried to think I was doing something different and important, but it's not. The grand scheme of things is just a video that a week later is going to be irrelevant. Don't care so much. Just have some fun and get off. You know,
pretty much,
have some fun. Do what you're going to do. Get and unplug. And it's not that serious. And this stuff doesn't matter. And you will waste your life. And even the successful YouTubers here, don't envy them or anything. Their lives are controlled by this. And this is why they're so wound so tight. You know, the fake ragers. Yeah, I think there is a lot of it, that it's fake rage. But they are wound so tight because this is their whole livelihood. They are so in the game. And it's wasting their lives, honestly. Well, don't envy big YouTubers. It's a waste.
Oh yeah, no, it's vacuous at best. But no, it's the perfect point is they brought up is that it can be used to fuel the culture war, and it's like,
oh yes,
and we are knee deep in that right now. Like, or not even that. We're beyond knees deep. We're neck deep. Okay.
And if you unplug. I honestly think that the culture war is because of social media.
Oh yeah.
And if you just talk to people and get off the media, it wouldn't be like this. It's honestly just people on both sides that are in the game that also have websites and articles and YouTube channels and big networks of friends that have their point of view. There's so much money wound up into this. Also with foreign governments using it, manipulating the platform that's there, like Facebook and stuff, to sow division. And you know, Russia and that, they probably love this. Look at them; they're at each other's throats. But if you take out the social media aspect, people would not be as extreme on either side. And I do think it's gonna, for the better of everyone, it's gonna take more important conversations and talking to people that you don't necessarily want to, like, I've lost friends on both sides. They're like, I don't want to talk to them anymore. They're different. They have different, they're crazy. I'm like, your world doesn't exist on both sides. What you think is good, what you think is the ideal world, it's never going to happen. Everyone has to live with each other.
Yeah. And not only that, but with especially here and with what we do on a weekly basis is echo chambers. I mean, yes. It creates echo chambers.
I do not think you would be getting these Karens flipping out that are MAGA supporters or these Antifa that are this wound, this tight without social media.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it would be this point.
Well, for one, I mean, people would be doing other things like, working and, you know what I mean? Like, there's... people would find other ways to occupy their time that aren't as vacuous.
And both sides of politics, the big ones, the main ones, left and the right, are shackled to the radical left. No, there's a radical right too, and they're both shackled to it. They don't want to play softball. I mean, they play softball because of what they know the radicals in their side, and social media just amplifies this junk. And every single person in this documentary also, okay, so there's a fictional family type semi-documentary that's kind of cheesy at times, but it's very also effective. It's very effective, and I think it works. But and you also have to say, are they trying to get something out of this? I honestly think everyone involved in the documentary that worked at these social media platforms is doing it because they care. I got that feeling. I mean,
they all seem like they had their own personal experience with that, so they're like, no.
And they all said, "I will not let my children be on this."
Well, and that's the thing. And even when like I was back in the MySpace days, it was like I had friends that had kids that were 10, 11, and stuff like that, and they had MySpace pages, and I'm like, why in the hell would you let your kid have a MySpace page? It's like, I don't see anything good happening from that. And in 2020, look at it now, and it's blown up all over the place. So it's like, I've got little cousins that have Facebook pages, so it's like,
yeah. I love this documentary. I would watch it again. I'll wait a while. But I also wanted to do, I think in the past I did like a Binge Buddies scale. This isn't a series, but this is a must see, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There were the other categories were only in a pandemic, and not even in a pandemic because you're low on content. This is an absolute must see. I think you should watch it as a family too, and put your phones down.
Yeah,
that's another thing I think that's important to watch this movie or documentary is put your phones down. See if you could do it just for the movie. Because I couldn't at the start. I was picking up my phone. I was seeing, I was checking my email, checking my text messages. I was checking the news. Don't watch the news. It's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? I've been watching too much news lately myself before this. I'm like, I gotta unplug from that too. My cat, my dogs are here. My cat, it's not worth it. What does it mean? What does it matter? You're just wasting your life.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, especially with the election and all that kind of stuff, we will delve into a little tiny bit into politics. But I think, especially since Biden looks like he's going to take it, I think things are going to simmer down.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're not going to have so many people focused on it.
Yeah, if you remove yourself from all this stuff that just honestly, it's run by ad dollars and information. It's twofold. It's nothing in here benefits you. These things that exist benefit to get the micro ad dollars and the information that's provided by what you click on in your engagement and algorithms, engagement, all that. And nothing is there for you. It's only there to manipulate your time and so you lose your focus on life. So I strongly suggest whatever's going to happen, whoever you care about politically is going to happen, regardless if you watch the news. I mean, watch the news if something new happens, but constant breaking news. One more vote came in. Come on. This is,
you get a little fatigued after a while.
You're wasting your time, and it's sensationalized everywhere. And there's not like people say, I'm sick of this news organization. They're just, they're just doing this to do this. They all do that to do that. Even every single organization.
Oh yeah.
They're all there to sensationalize, make little tidbits of information into nothing, and recycle it over and over and over and over and over just so you get to the. Don't be a hamster in the wheel. Get off the wheel. Have some fun. Do something. It's going to happen. Whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen. And people will probably be at each other's throats, protesting on both sides. Hope it gets resolved. But yeah, this was an important documentary for the time. I don't think it has as much impact as it should, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think a lot of people watch a Netflix documentary and they think it's going to be slanted. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to, if I watch it, it's going to ease the
I
public.
mean, it's not perfect. I mean, this, like I said, the family was kind of like, what the heck is this? This is kind of silly. But it's not accurate either, though. Like some of the stuff.
It definitely kind of goes to show, because you get a little slice from everybody, their own point of view as to what's happening from the nuclear family point of view, which
And he lost out on a new relationship with a nice girl because he's so attached to his phone. Then, like, I mean, he's worried about what other people are doing, like his old girlfriend. He lost himself, and then he became miserable. And that is not fictional. That's very accurate as to what could happen.
Her name was Xbox 360.
We're worried about what has happened to other people, what other people are doing, and you miss out on what's right in front of you.
No, this is very true. I mean, and they've said that for a lot of things. I mean, what is it? There's nothing in excess. You know what I mean? Where everything in moderation is the key to happiness. So if you're on that phone all the time, you're not doing it in moderation.
Yeah, consciously put your phone away. Consciously do it. Like I have to work on that more. And I'm not putting Twitter on my phone. I refuse. I'm done.
Especially since, it sucks that they put Facebook right on there. It's preloaded on your phone already.
This last week I spent like a couple hours just battling it on Twitter, and it's like, what was the?
Yeah, and it's like, what did you get out of it besides higher blood pressure?
Nothing. You're not gonna change anyone's mind.
Yeah, no.
I mean, even if you could, the possibilities of actually changing someone's mind are so minuscule.
Yeah, and I think what I said this last night on Enosh's show, and it was kind of with regards to the whole coroner situation. I think the only way that this is going to kind of resolve itself is if just one of us decides, hey, you know what?
I thought about covering it myself, and I haven't, and I don't think I will. And it's
basically good on you, man.
It's basically they got to the point where they realized that their views were better when we were at each other's throats.
They were having hundreds of people a night in the stream.
Yeah, so that's what they're missing. Yeah, I mean, that's where this came. Honestly, that's like pity Andy Signore and all the clown corners, because this is their whole life. Yeah. This is their whole life. How sad is that?
Well, they're wrapped up in that culture war, So it's like,
do never be a YouTuber, even if you're a successful one. That's honestly what I got from this too, because it's a waste. Like Jeremy, one of the times where we still talk to each other, which is a really revealing moment, he does this front like, I got a nice car, hot wife, and I'm living the dream. And then later on in the stream, he's like, yeah, I'm sad this will all be gone tomorrow. And then you see all the channels he does videos constantly, and it's all bullshit. It's all one-sided, and it's all caught up in the game, but it's really, if he's not making a video, he's thinking about what's going to get clicks. I know, because I've done it. When you're not making a video, all you're doing is you're the wheels. What's going to get clicks? What's going to get clicks? And your spin and your, how you make it more extreme for better engagement.
Yeah.
I don't now the end of the documentary. They're like, what can we do? We have to make things better. I honestly don't see it getting better. I don't see that there's going to be a fix.
No, I think it's going to something I've been worried about. I think we are going to have some, in the streets, so
it's going to cost. It's the only fix is people. There's not going to be a fix that like these people in this documentary. When it comes down to money, people don't want these big corporations don't want the money to stop. If there's like safety protocols, just like you on video game systems, you could enable child locks. No one uses it.
Oh yeah, of course not.
So, and people are going to think it's lame. No one's going to tell me what to do. Then I might miss. I might get I don't want the fake news. I want the real news. If I, whatever. People aren't going to use it. It's going to have to come down to people unplugging themselves. Yeah, they use the Matrix as a scenario. Unplug yourself from the Matrix. Yes, you have to, as much as you can. You can't. I mean, there are people that don't do any of this stuff.
Oh no,
I can't do
their
that.
heads in the sand is like all get out, man.
Yeah, but you unplug as much as you can.
Yeah. Oh no, read a book. Visit a family member, make a phone call.
Right.
Especially now. I mean, if you've upset a family member recently, maybe throw that olive branch out and drop whatever beef you may or may not have had. So I'm in the process.
Yeah, I think for sure it's not worth it, man. It's not
No,
worth it.
no. And at the end of the day, if you're gonna lose family over it, I mean, you've really lost. So it's like,
and don't get mad at them, even if they're crazy about their point of view. Don't get mad at them because they're just part of the system that's there. They're being influenced by outside forces, and it's just really, if you take people off social media and you remove yourself and you just if you interact with people normally, how people used to do before mobile phones were attached to the hip and social media, people will be a lot more respectful to each other.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's removing yourself from the natural environment of interaction that gets crazy.
Yeah. So I think maybe with all the social dilemma all out of the way, maybe we should probably talk about something with a little more happiness involved.
Yes.
Let's see here. Friday, we had a new episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. What were your thoughts on that episode?
Oh, it was great. I heard that people were starting to get like salty on The Mandalorian, and then I heard that people really did not like this episode, and I didn't hear why. And I'm like, why? And then I watched it because my expectations were a little bit lowered. Not that I believe what I hear online, but once it started, and then they're on like this fishing ship with I forget the race.
Yeah, they kind of look like Davy Jones from.
Yeah, and I was like, this is a little different for Star Wars. This is interesting. And then, a spoiler alert: when the surprise, Bo-Katan and her crew, and Katie Sackhoff, man,
I was so happy to see her back. She pulled the helmet off. When I saw the helmet, I was like, oh my god, that's Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing I love about it the most is that they're bringing those animated characters to life.
Yes,
and it really ties the universe together in a way that is a good way. It doesn't shrink the universe. To me, I think it brings life to that stuff.
Yeah, this episode was great. The action was amazing. It was a little short. I'm getting sick of the short episodes.
Yeah, right.
After the first one. Sir Nerdalot's in the chat. Hey, Sir.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How's it going?
Did you, Sir Nerdalot? Did you watch The Social Dilemma? It's amazing. I'm not going to go back to it. I'm just saying, if you haven't watched it, Sir Nerdalot, it's something I think you would appreciate. But yes, this Mandalorian episode was so good. It expands the story a little bit finally, and what they allude to for next episode, I cannot wait.
Oh, I mean, I kind of agree with some of it. It's like I wish they'd have shown like a leg or something. One of her tendrils or whatever. It's like,
nah, I'm okay with not showing it all as long as we get it next. If they wait till the end of the season, if they do that thing, I really do think they're waiting until the Boba Fett till the end of the season, though.
Well, I'd be all right with that. I think with Boba Fett, less is more at this point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A mysterious character and stuff like that. Maybe show like a couple interludes back to Tatooine or something. You know what I mean? Or have him go to the planets that the Mandalorian was on previously.
Well, I think that they're going to be running. I have a small prediction. I don't know if they would do it though, because he's like, I actually heard that Disney's like, they thought it was going to be abysmal, their stocks and their profits, but it's actually a little bit better because of Baby Yoda. But I'm like, it would make sense once they get to Ahsoka that Ahsoka might like take over with the child.
Yeah.
Instead of the Mandalorian, let him do his own thing. But I don't know if they'll do that because of his popularity. I don't know how they handle that. But that's where I mean, if I were writing or like, okay, this is getting ridiculous with Baby Yoda almost dying every episode and him losing it and finding a way for him to be near the action. It's cute at first. And then it kind of gets ridiculous, but then that's also where you're getting your viewers and the kids and the families.
Yeah. Well, that's what brings the ladies in. You know what I mean? You gotta
yeah. And then you would think that if he does have some force powers, that Ahsoka might be the best person for him to be with.
Yeah, to help him channel that into the right direction.
Yeah. I just don't know. But I do you foresee that? What's your prediction? Do you think they might go that route? Is it a possibility, or do you think they'll just stick with what works, Mando and the child?
Well, I'm hoping that maybe Ahsoka joins. Okay. You know, to where we're actually going to get to see a hell of a lot more Ahsoka than we were expecting. And to me, I think that would be awesome, because I think at this time, the last scene of Rebels was 5 years after the war, and they were on Lothal, and that's when Ahsoka and Sabine went on their little mission to go find Ezra. So, I mean, if they could tie that in to where maybe we would get a little bit of an idea where Ezra is, that would be awesome. I mean, I think it'd be just, yeah. I don't want to sound like the nerd crew. It's going to be great. It's going to,
yeah, it will be. Yeah, I'm very excited for the future. We're going to be on episode 4, and there's only 8 episodes though. Oh, and for my Xbox, I got a code for 30 days free. I was going to hit up Sci-Fi Dragon. I'm like, I'm not going to give it to him if he doesn't agree to watch it, because he'll just get, I'm like, okay, and then he won't watch it. someone else could have used it. Like, I'm like, watch this so you can comment on it. But that next week would be the perfect time to use the 30 days, because you get the last 4 episodes and you could binge the whole, 10, 11 episodes. Yes,
take it all in before it's for free.
Yeah. I was very happy. I'm very happy with the casting, and I mean, there's not a lot to really say about the episode. Just this is one I'd rewatch.
No, exactly. I mean, as for like last week, I probably will skip that one and in favor of this one. I mean, I've rewatched it, like I've seen it 3 times now, I think. About there. That's pretty good for, shows, especially these days. We got I mean, I don't know, especially since I'm watching more than one show right now. I'm also watching Star Trek Discovery, which my goodness, my friend, let me tell you, I think, let's see here. Sir Alexei, I didn't think we'd see Ahsoka until episode 8. Honestly, I hope we see her right away, and I hope we see her the whole time. Let's get some more Cara Dune in there too.
This was we're missing Cara Dune, and Bryce Dallas Howard directed this episode.
Yeah,
and I think this was better than her last year's. I think this was a better episode.
Yeah.
Do you compare it to her last one? Do you think so as well?
No, yeah, exactly. I liked that episode though. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. That was one of my favorites from the first season, because we got to see Cara Dune for the first time. I liked it a lot. I mean, it was a vast improvement. And I think as a director, she's getting a lot better. I mean, a lot better. So I mean, more good on her. I mean, that's really good for Bryce Dallas Howard that she's getting in and playing with the.
I mean, and this is also where, oh no, diversity, giving more. Yes, it's not as. Listen, it's overblown for advertising in Hollywood, but there has been some problems with opportunities for women in the past. It's not like it's zero, but I think they did give her a shot, also based on her family history too. And I think she's growing into it, and this is a good thing. Give new people opportunities, and I think she's taking advantage of it and getting better. Yes. And she's not just in front of the camera like Jurassic World. I do foresee her being really closely tied with Disney and having a future.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what Deborah Chow does next.
It should be really good. I mean, honestly, I hope it's the Obi-Wan series that gets going back again. I mean, I want to see Ewan McGregor with that lightsaber again.
I'm glad you said Discovery Season 3. I want to watch Discovery. I just haven't seen it on Netflix. Maybe I got my information wrong.
I wonder if it's international, because I know that's how it was before. So if you lived in the United States, the only way you can see it was on CBS All Access.
Well, I have season 1 on Blu-ray. I just never watched it. I haven't Steelbook. I bought it on sale, and I never watched it.
I mean, honestly, as far as season 1 and 2 go, I mean, I would put them on the same par as like the Next Generation, where it was, the Next Generation first couple seasons were not that good, but the third season, it's great. They threw them 900 years in the future, so there's really no quote unquote canon that any of the ragers can get mad about. So I mean, it's a fresh start. So the only thing I can complain about, well, why is it dead in 900 years? It's like, dude, if you find me one empire in history that lasted longer than 500 to 600 years, you know what I mean? Good luck with that, because you can't. It hasn't happened in history, and I highly doubt it'll happen in the future. We'll have some kind of a grandiose organization, but after a while, it is going to fail. I like it. One of the last episodes, they brought a Trill in, which is kind of a throwback to one of my favorite characters from Deep Space Nine, which was the Dax character. Love that a lot. And it kind of makes me want to talk about maybe one of our next topics.
Okay.
As far as because I like to talk Star Trek, and and a lot of Star Trek talk goes down these days. So I was thinking maybe the movies. I did a poll on Twitter,
cool.
So we can kind of see who wants to see what as far as and talk about one of the Star Trek movies. I think it was First Contact or The Undiscovered Country. Wrath of Khan. So everybody loves Wrath of Khan. I think that would be a good one for us to sit around and talk about, especially nowadays. I mean,
could we do a double header and do the new version too, and say, or is that too much?
Yeah, no, honestly, yes, because how I feel about that movie, I will Phantom Menace rage out on that movie. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, that works for me, because In the Darkness, I loved Wrath of Khan so much that when
I haven't watched it in years.
It's been a while for me too, so I think that would be really cool for us to sit back and watch. Either that, or we could do some kind of like a watch party or something like that. I do have a Twitch, so we can try that. Actually, speaking of polls, let me bring up the results of a couple of the other ones.
Yeah, we have to actually follow through to honor Sean Connery.
Yes, actually, we could probably do that next week. Yeah. I think it was between Highlander and Untouchables.
Yeah.
Let me look at I think it was a tie between the two.
Thanks. Props for Brian for heading up the Binge Buddies Twitter.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I enjoy it. Let's see here. Let's go with. No, I don't want to do that.
I have it up, I think.
Let's see. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's the Star Trek. Yeah, it looked like Star Trek 2 and First Contact were dead ahead there. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, it was a dead heat between Highlander and the Untouchables. I'm down for watching the Untouchables because I just watched the Highlander. So,
who didn't watch the Highlander? Who was that?
I think it was Enosh. So if we can get Enosh involved to watch the Highlander, I think that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out to him. Yeah, that's a great pool, and I like your get more Star Trek. I gotta watch Discovery, and I gotta watch Lower Decks. I just don't want to pay. I might have to pay for it and binge some stuff. There's so much stuff right now I need to catch up on. Another show that's like I would rewatch it in a heartbeat if someone wants to watch it in watch parties, definitely, because it's that funny, is What We Do in the Shadows, the series.
Oh, no, I've never seen that.
You have to have Hulu, though. I don't know if...
Oh, I haven't had Hulu in a while. I just got my HBO Max going again.
So. I'll find out if it's somewhere else. It is funnier than the movie, because the movie is Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like The Office with vampires. It's filmed that way, and the show's even better. It's like that hilarious, and I've never laughed so hard. And it's short episodes. I got to find out. I got to talk to Zodrider because there's a thing where if you have it, everyone can watch it. I just want to do one or two episodes so people see. Oh, that shit's so hilarious. Oh my goodness. I would rewatch that in a second. That's like I would rewatch that over The Office or some other sitcom.
It's been a while since I've watched The Office, but it's one of those things where it's like if I do turn it in every once in a while, I'm like, hey.
And it's horror themed too, so it's funner.
Oh,
like it's got a little danger to it,
Yeah.
We also got to work with other YouTubers for watch parties, like support watch parties for the binge. But hey, this YouTuber's having a watch party. Let's binge buddies come over.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot with Nicotina on the Mandalorian. On midnight on the West Coast it comes out, so on Thursday night we watch it.
Yeah, I love Nicotina, but those times I was on his show or I was wrecked the next day.
His midnight runs. 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning for me, and then that's when it starts.
Yeah, you get done at 4. You're just like,
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Oh,
I don't blame you. Well, especially with you East Coast guys, where it's like, I dig it.
Something great for Game Pass. Nerd a lot, and I've been slacking on that. I've been fine with, but something that just came out. Oh, well, EA came out. Did you see that? You can play Jedi Fallen Order, and I bought it for the PS4, and I never even opened it. I could probably just go and take it back if I could find my.
There you go.
It's still sealed.
You should play it though, honestly.
No, I know. I'm downloading it now, but that new Tetris. Oh,
what?
That new Tetris that's on there is like so addictive.
I haven't checked in a couple of days, man. Maybe I'll go on there and.
Oh yeah, it's on Game Pass.
I did try that. What was that? Unruly Heroes.
Yeah,
that game was pretty cool. I like that.
I got to go further in that game. But my problem why I stopped playing it was I was playing on my Fight Commander. That's like an old school controller without the analog sticks. And there's certain parts that you need the analog sticks in that game. So I was like, I'm already on, and I never went back to it. I got to do it with my regular controller.
So how do you like the Xbox One S so far?
I really, really like it. There are some things I do not like. One of them is the controller. I'm disappointed in the controller. But the good news is I could just use my other controller, like the D-pad.
There you go.
I hate the way I don't get it. It's just me. Like I'm in the minority here. I'm okay with. I like symmetrical analog sticks, like the PS4.
I always like the direction pad.
Yeah, but the new direction pad. I thought I was gonna like it because it has like swoops to the cross where that helps. But it has a weird click feel, like a cheap click feel, not a nice click feel.
Oh yeah, no.
And then the the buttons on the Xbox, they feel like hard.
Yeah, like you're pushing a button.
But they're like candy shell hard, plastic.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Where other controllers have more like a softer, rubbery plastic. And I know that's a weird thing to focus on. I don't like the hard plastic. Like it. I like it like a little give to it. It feels nicer especially for gaming for a long time.
Yeah, more like a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, growing up, shit, we had the Super Nintendo and the regular Nintendo. The edges of the A and the B button, they wrecked my right thumb for years.
Yeah, I like a little more comfort. And I also have a device where I could actually use PS4 controllers on my Xbox. I just have to download firmware for it, and I'm not a technical guy. I just haven't done it yet. I bought a device so I could play. I buy too much junk. I bought like a year, maybe 2 years ago, really expensive steering wheel so I could play PlayStation 4 racing games. And then because I did research, you buy $100 thing instead of buying 2 racing wheels for each system. You buy something that lets you play it on every system.
Yeah, universal one. Yeah, one of the Logitech ones.
Just a box that converts
Gotcha.
Like you can use it for controllers too. Like I can use it. I'm more than likely there'll be a driver update on this device where I can use a DualSense on a Series X in the future. And
there you go.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I gotta get that. I gotta get that together. But the controller, I'm slightly disappointed with. Like, but you can just use the old one. The analog triggers feel nicer, but I actually think the rumble feels better on the old controller. I don't know.
Really? Huh.
I mean, it's not a bad controller. It's just, and I wasn't expecting like DualSense either. It's just I don't like the changes to the controller.
Yeah. Well, I was definitely a fan of the packaging. I mean, when you did your unboxing the other day, I was just like, and they really like.
Oh yeah, it makes you feel
that sucker in there. I was
like 2001: A Space Odyssey with the black monolith thing. You're like, oh, you know.
Mm-hmm. It really does look like a mini fridge, though.
yeah. It does get hot. The holes. Really though, I mean, unless you have like a really high-end 4K TV, I don't think it's necessarily worth it then the short load times are nice.
Yeah.
I really thought about how much time I waste watching load times. And one of my favorite genres is fighting games. And load times for fighting games are annoying.
Yeah, it takes you out of the fighting game, really.
Yeah. So
right on. All right, man. We'll probably just wrap her up. I think. Nice, quick. 45 minutes to an hour.
I'm trying to think of anything else that's come out newsworthy for.
Other than your girl Grace nabbing another interview with Zack Snyder.
I'm so jealous. I would be fangirling out if I was on there with both of them. I'd be like,
right?
No, Grace is really good reporter. I hate the hate that she gets. I cannot stand it. Of course, she has her personality and her bias with her political views, but I think she tries more than most. And she does get a lot right, more than anyone else. Like lots of other people say absolute nonsense that never comes true. And they always, I guess it's because she's just closest to the million.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it, we kind of talked about this the other day on another stream. Egos.
Yeah.
It's like you get these groups of, people and fandoms and stuff like that. And then you get YouTubers, in the upper echelons where the egos start getting involved, where it's like, oh my gosh, how does she got 1 million? But they don't want to say it like that because then they just come across as petty as hell. So,
the scooper game. I mean, even the smaller YouTubers, we've seen some crossfire. I'm like, whoa, chill out, guys. Like
it gets to a point where you're just like, time to take it easy, guys. It's okay.
yeah. That's why I'm not in the scoop game. If I have a rumor, it's one that I thought of or I believe myself, but I don't. I haven't done.
Well, that's why you're the reaction game.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we could end it a little bit early. Thanks for hosting this week's episode. You did the work.
Yeah, not a problem. Anytime, and I'll save it to if you guys want to reuse that intro again.
Sure.
Right ahead.
The Snyder Cut. It's getting closer to that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch the interview yet. That's how disconnected I am from. You know how many times I've been watching Grace? I didn't even watch it yet.
Well, not only that, Zach's been a busy man. He was on with the Nerd Queens, and then he was also on last night. He was on with not Lightcast. One of those shows. No, the Vodka Stream. He was on there. He was on there last night. So I was like, oh man, what the heck? So things are looking good. It should be pretty exciting. I think. I think
that's really there is some news. They are really considering Wonder Woman for VOD now, and I think that's why Disney Plus changed its WandaVision premiere to January. Because I heard rumors about January. I was gonna maybe do a video. I don't know.
Well, I think they're probably getting a little knowledge that theaters are probably aren't going to be open anytime soon, and the longer they sit on that movie, the longer it's going to take to not see it. Oh
Yeah,
man, we're just
I mean,
wrapping up. Hey Barcelona,
oh, hey, Barcelona B.
what's up?
But it is much money as you save for advertising for these streaming services. They are really trying to beef up their subscriber count. And if you have Wonder Woman 84 coming to HBO Max in January, that's going to get a lot of subs. It's worth it.
Well, I think with HBO, I think their problem is that they have just a bunch of content everybody's already seen, so they're behind in the original department. You know, they do have a couple out there right now, like what was it, Lovecraft County and stuff like that, where it's, you know, it's not too bad and stuff like that, but you really want to get, you know, to the meat and potatoes, and you want to get some good like DC content. I'm kind of hoping they bring a lot of that over. I saw some like previews and stuff.
Did you watch Titans?
No, I want to check it out here pretty soon. It's on my list.
Oh yeah, that's something we got to work on. I shouldn't put more work on you, Brian.
But don't worry about it.
Maybe you could be the first one to do the first Binge Buddies bucket or binge list, not bucket list, of stuff that you need to get to, that you want to, not stuff that people say, oh, you have to. Stuff that you're like, I actually want to see, I just haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, like something you've just been meaning to see for a while, but you know, just haven't quite got around to it yet.
And we can maybe we could preview yours next week, and then maybe I'll have to do it too. I'll do it. We'll both do it, and we'll start the ball ruin on the Binge Buddy list.
Marathon and all Young Justice again. Nice.
I love Young Justice. Did you ever see that?
No, I'm so behind as far as DC is concerned. Well, so it's like every time I get in there,
I would watch the first 2 seasons are amazing, and then it's like one of these shows that they actually canceled it because of toy sales. Like, it was, people liked it, but people were buying the toys. I mean, that's a factor, especially when you have an animated series.
Yeah.
Like, it had 0 merchandising. Like, people just loved the story. It was great. Wow. It was really well regarded, and they actually canceled it the first time just because no one was buying the merchandise for it. Like, it was a great show, but no one, you know, the kids weren't. It's more geared towards adults or young adults, not children. So there were 0. That's probably why you see, like, even the Teen Titans now, Teen Titans Go is overly kiddie just to get those merchandising opportunities, and it's obnoxious.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. You get a little over the top. I mean, it's the business model that He-Man had all those years ago, where it was like
they brought it back, and I've lost interest in the new seasons. I got to give it another shot. But Barcelona B, she's there. She says she's all of Young Justice. Do you mean the new seasons too, Barcelona B? I'm hoping you get a response from you. Do you like the new seasons too? Should I give it another shot? But definitely, Brian, the first 2 seasons are amazing.
Young Justice. Check that out.
I mean, I would actually recommend that before Titans, because that's a similar type of show.
Ooh. Oh, what about Doom Patrol? Is that one any good?
People love it. It's too weird for me, and I'm a guy in a Doom mask. Like, I have to. That's another one that's going to be on my list. My wife lost interest at a foot. Okay. Oh, she has the DVD. All right.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, I have the first 2 seasons on DVD. I don't have the new one though.
Yeah.
All right. I apologize. You were going to end it, and we
Oh no, it's all good. We got a couple more people in for the conversation. But anyways, we are gonna wrap it up. We almost did about an hour, so I think that's pretty good for my first co-live stream. Well, actually, no, it's probably my second one. I did one earlier with Sir Nerdalot about Star Trek Voyager, so good times there. But yeah, so when we come back next week, we'll probably be talking some Sean Connery, I think.
Yeah, we gotta do the. I gotta make sure they're still on the Netflix. I'll check that out tonight, and then I'll let Brian know for the tweet, like, oh, it is still on Netflix. And we'll have to check on Enosh to see if he'll be available to watch The Highlander.
Yeah,
maybe we could do a watch party on Twitch first.
Oh, that'd be super cool.
To watch it together. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. And then we'll have to find
the Untouchables. Or the Untouchables. The Untouchables is really long, though, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, not only that, but he's more of an ancillary character in that one, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was thinking too. This is more of a focus for him as as an actor than the Untouchables.
All right. So we're gonna take off. Everyone have a good one. We'll catch y'all next time.